Hello, I am Cassie Brown, and I am thrilled to welcome you to the Amplify My Impact podcast. After years of consulting and managing programs for some of the top entrepreneurs, CEOs, and marketers in the industry, I am on a mission to expand our contribution, to grow, scale, and create more so we can do and give more. This podcast celebrates entrepreneurs who are boldly stepping up to own their calling, expand their influence, and stretch outside their comfort zone, who've decided to stop playing it small, pick up the mantle of contribution, and serve at a higher level to lead by example and light the way for others. If that's you, then get ready to amplify. There's a fire that burns inside your soul, and we're going to ignite it into a roaring blaze of unstoppable momentum. Hello and welcome to Amplify My Impact. I am still so flippin' excited about this new season. I wanted to bring you guys a little bit of behind the scenes episode today because we're creeping into the end of the first quarter of 2020 and it's already been insane. So I guess I need to kind of dial it back a little bit to January, where we went on the 2 Comma Club cruise and had just incredible time with all of the members that I was able to serve within that community. Following that quickly was Funnel Hacking Live. That was incredibly such a amazing experience because we launched the Amplify Australia t-shirts to raise money for Australia. Our group from Facebook there, many of us were there at live at the event. So we was able to hang out, create just some group environments, take pictures. We did a little mastermind there with Nick Fitzgerald and Jorge Vasquez. It's just been so much fun. So many of my friends had the incredible opportunity to present from stage, and I cannot tell you how incredible it was to scream my head off for them, because what a lot of people don't realize is what seems to be like an overnight success because all of a sudden someone's on your radar doesn't mean that they haven't spent years and tons of effort, striving, tears, stress, failure, lessons like to get there. So many of them I was able just to see their journey and their growth, and it's so incredibly inspiring. So that was fun. I got to cross the stage for a really special 2 Comma Club award that I really kind of kept under my hat. And I a lot of people have asked me, why didn't you share it? Why didn't you let me know? And it's just one of those things where I don't know. I just like to do my work, to pour into something, to get results. And, for me, the results speak for themselves. And that's just how I am. I know it goes back to, I have very, very, very humble Southern Baptist roots, and it's just, it's ingrained in me. And yeah, I know it's something to celebrate, but it's still one of those things that it's just really, if I'm going to be truly honest and transparent, like it's hard to kind of toot your own horn. But it's worth celebrating because a lot of people work really, really hard for that. And we worked really hard for that award. It means a lot to me because it's within the agency. It's one of my first clients who has become a partner, and what we have not only created in that particular business that got the 2 Comma Club award, but what we're creating as the next phase. It's exciting. It's proof of concept that impact-driven marketing really works, that serving a community and really being uncompromising on the level and standards of value on what must be present in the results and consistently doing so. It's one of those things. Like this one in particular is a brick and mortar service-based business, not one digital product yet. Digital product comes this year. And that's what I'm really, really excited about, because the impact that we've been able to create on the community level and just the ripple effect that alone has already created is encouraging, and it's worth every single day of effort that we put in. And the next phase is going to be even more incredible. So I'll share with that as we go along. I know that's not a ton of teasers or not a ton of detail, but probably more of an open loop teaser, but that's just the way it's going to have to be because there's a lot of things in the works, but I'll definitely keep you guys abreast of how that is coming along. At FHL, Jorge and I were also able to, once it was over, to literally take a full day, map out the full year of what it looks like for the Amplify coaching program. And immediately after that, I went to the Funnel Gorgeous retreat in Orlando at Disney. Oh my gosh. So I was able to take everything that Jorge and I had mapped out literally that weekend and present it to Julie and Kathy at the Funnel Gorgeous retreat. And that alone was such an incredible blessing because I was in momentum and clarity and energy and just being around the community that we were going to serve and just knowing at what level that we could serve it was awesome. And Julie Stowen and Kathy Olson, if you don't know who they are, oh my goodness, these two women are incredibly talented, bold. You know, they are grounded in service and integrity and just being part of not only the environment that they create, but, you know, what they stand for. It makes me push harder and, you know, just continue to go forward and to move forward and having them be able just to kind of look over what we're working on for Amplify and see the mission, you know, the conversations, and I'll treasure them forever. So that mastermind, insane. If you have the opportunity to go, definitely go. It's a small group environment. And, you know, if you guys have listened to me for any certain amount of time, you know that I absolutely love opportunities like this to be in a small, tight-knit group environment. And that is pretty much like what we're carrying over into the heart and soul of the Amplify coaching program. Is those small group environments are absolutely electric and life-changing for not only your personal development, but for your business. So from there, let's see, Orlando, Florida. Yes, Disney. Oh my goodness, I got to experience the Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. Wow. Oh my goodness. I feel like I should do a whole episode of and I think I will, because the incredible amount of detail and creativity that the Imagineers put into that experience. Holy smokes. We got up super early, and let me tell you, I'll just pre-frame this. Like, imagine 13 women getting up, leaving on time early, and not taking bags for the day at Disney. That's how dedicated we were to getting there. Like, we left at 7, the park opened at 8. We were through the gate by 7:30 because we did not have to wait for bags. Whoop, whoop. Julie and Kathy were geniuses in planning that. And they had their apps open and at their ready, because the way that Disney does the fast pass or the group distribution for new rides is they open up sort of like a queue. So it's an online queue. You have to be in the park. And let me tell you, this like level of stress, like you could feel it in the air. We were all standing there on Main Street at Hollywood Studios, right in front of the Starbucks, and just waiting, like watching the clock tick down, you know, from 7:58 to 7:59. And then all of a sudden it was 30 seconds. And then it was 8 o'clock and it was go time, you know, and within a minute, if you're not within that first minute, you're not going to get the cue that you need to get into the line that day. And so luckily they both got the cue, and we were able to consolidate and go later that afternoon. But just that excitement and rush alone. Oh, it was so much fun. And we, you know, wow, I think we ended up going to 3 parks that day and finishing up the fireworks show. Well, the fireworks show was canceled because of the weather, but the illumination display on the castle at the Magic Kingdom was amazing. So I'm realizing now I think I need to do just a full episode on the Funnel Gorgeous retreat. So I'll probably come back around to that. So from Orlando, Florida, I went to San Juan. San Jose, California, and had an event there and got to meet one of my mentors, Myron Golden, has had just incredible influence on me. And my new friend that I had met, Srini, was hosting an event there with Joe Bauer. So it was very, very interesting to see just the different layers of influence and the different programs. And of course, like selling and closing and all of this type of stuff. And I'm really, really interested in live events right now. Like that's one of the environments that I'm pouring myself into this year, speaking on more stages, sharing, the message more, getting more opportunity to pay it forward, add value as much as I can to other people's audiences. So it's really, really interesting. So I'm like a sponge right now for everyone's strategies and approaches. And it's interesting to see like, the psychology of it and the structure of it, and also like going through the emotional steps of it. So like it's really like a science experiment right now, just paying attention and absolutely dissecting every little detail, a phrase or body language or walking the room or, specific calls to action or pre-framing and, micro commitments and all of this type of stuff. Like it's fascinating, and I'm totally nerding and geeking out on it. So, and then I come home and we are in full sprint mode all of February for the Amplify coaching program launch. Did actually at Disney. It's interesting. At Disney, we did the waiting list. We launched the waiting list. And then just last week, we were there again at Disney for spring break with the kids. And so it was like a week between me being there with Julie and Kathy and then being back with the family. And both times at Disney, the waiting list originally launched and then the application launched. So yeah, Disney has a really special place in this whole timeline and story of Amplify. So that's going to be really, really fun to reflect on. I think, maybe we'll even do a Amplify retreat or some planning meetings at Disney. I know the kids, definitely Adam would go for that. That would be an easy vote to get. So I think that catches you all up to where we are last week of February. And we're going into the final phase of launching the program. We've had enrollment calls last week, enrollment calls this week, and we are starting March 2nd. So we're starting the coaching program March 2nd. The whole idea is for this, not limited to 20 people, but for the first 20 people, like they get incredibly insane, just everything that we're offering, everything that we're pouring into this program for the first 20 people, like, and for just raising their hand and saying, yeah, I'm along for the ride, let's go. It's incredible rates that they're going to be locked into with the program. And, just the amount of attention and detail in their business, where we have actually one of the members' business intensives scheduled tomorrow, where we're literally going to take a deep dive and we're going to dissect everything that they've already done, start to organize systems and priorities, create a full marketing plan for the whole year, reverse engineered essentially per quarter, and they're going to know what their publishing calendar is for every single day of the week leading up to achieving those goals. So I'm really, really excited. I love marketing. I love publishing, and being able to just get crazy focused on refining the value ladder, making sure the messaging is there, the nurturing is there, and that the results and testimonials are there to fuel the future sales and customer ascension. I'm sorry, I'm nerding out right now for everything that we're creating. And, we're going to be teaching organic to paid traffic and just how to leverage the launch and the results to the optimizing and scaling phase of the core offers, and going through that core offer stack and creating those programs and results to serve. So just really, really excited, not only for that one-to-one coaching environment, but for the small group coaching environments, because I know it was so pivotal in my growth in my business. So to be able to pay it forward in big ways like that to these incredible impact-driven entrepreneurs, like this year is going to be incredible. It's going to fill my soul, and it's just, lights me on fire and it fuels me forward. So I think that encompasses all of the updates and brings you right up to speed on everything. I will do a full recap of the Funnel Gorgeous retreat and all things that I love about Disney, because I think just the story alone is incredibly inspiring, just to see how things can start with just an idea and a tiny leap of faith, and just keeps you in that, for lack of a better word, that unstoppable momentum. Like when you do something and you just know in your heart it's the right thing to do, and you just stubbornly keep going forward because you know it's fully your purpose to live it out and to bring it into a reality. Man, good stuff. So thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you again soon. Thanks so much for spending time with me today. I hope you've received value, encouragement, and exactly what you need to help keep you in momentum to grow and impact the world around you. Big or small, we all make a difference. Thanks also for subscribing, downloading, and leaving a review. This helps us reach others who need this message in their life. If you know anyone who would benefit from this podcast, please share, so you and I can help more people boldly step into purpose. It is my heart's mission to help and encourage others. My internal belief that a rising tide lifts all ships. So much of what we talk about on the podcast is leading with value and building relationships through service. So we've created a collection of resources for you to continue growing, whether you are just getting started or ready to scale your business. Visit amplifymyimpact.com for show notes, downloads, programs, and more information about how to directly work with our team to amplify your impact and change the world.